right. Hey everybody, this is Paul with Next Step Abound Workshops Incorporated, coming to you live from the office. Coming to you live from the office here in Tampa, Florida, right? Downtown Tampa, all right? So what I wanted to talk about today, because yesterday or so I wasn't able to really finish some of the subject lines that I had in regards to business financials and money management when we're talking about our business, right? And so we know that based upon that information, hey bro, how you doing? We know based upon that information, we need to have our business account, our business checking account, and we need to have 3 additional accounts in regards to that. I'm currently working on some information, actually typing it up. I was trying to type it up today so that I can have a little bit more orchestrated, constructive content here. But yet again, today we're going to just let it be whatever it is and let the chips fall where they may, right? So the first thing that I want to just go back to in regards to payroll, because that was one of the things that we talked about. We talked about payroll, one of those subject lines. So with payroll being one of those subject lines, let's go ahead and talk about payroll. So when we have, understood how to price our products, our services, or our product, or whatever it is that you have going on that you're selling. Once you have figured out how to price that product or that service, like I said, then at that point you want to then go ahead and mark out how is it that you're going to get paid. You want to mark out how is it that you're going to get paid and how much, because once you've figured out the pricing, now you know what you can afford to pay out, right, to yourself in payroll. So we know that there were 3 different accounts. One account was for the incoming. So your first account is for the money that's coming into your business, and the second account is going to be your expenses account, and then that third account is going to be your payroll account. So I'm not going to read exactly the content that I was trying to get together for today, but what I will do is, hey Ms. Darlene, but what I will do is read a little bit of it, because right at this point, that's where we're at. Here, I have set income goals of $40,000 for the year, but the business needs to then make a total of $120,000 minimum for the year for me to be able to clearly take that pay. So I created a diagram, and that's why I said, I was trying to create this content and everything like that, but I wasn't able to finish today. So we're going to stick with the payroll, and so I'm still on the subject line of the payroll. So in understanding that, the first slot that I put on this Excel spreadsheet was my desired personal income. So my desired personal income is what I'm recognizing here. If it's $40,000, then it's going to be $40,000. So I'm writing $40,000 in with the expectation that my required revenue for my business, the required revenue for my business is $120,000 for the year. So let's say that, okay, we did great. We made $120,000. Well, that's great. That income is going to go to that incoming account. That incoming account is going to receive all of that money, right? And then you're going to have the expense account, which is going to be distributed the $40,000. And then your payroll account is also going to be distributed $40,000. So as you are looking at understanding, right, this is how you are making a determination of your revenue. Okay, your revenue isn't based on when you the money that you don't spend, right, and you have at the end, that's not your revenue. Your revenue is everyday transactions, everyday services that's being rendered every day. So every time a contract is filled out, every time someone buys a product, every time someone takes on a service from you, that's revenue coming in, right? So for an example, okay, well, Paul, I just don't see how that's relevant, for me and my business. Well, it's relevant for you and your business because, again, if you desire to make $40,000, let's do another one. The income requested has to be dictated on the revenue coming in. So if the revenue then is not concurrent with what your projected goal is, then you must take your income down. So what does that mean? So that means, in other words, if you projected that you wanted to make $40,000 a year, and you know that your business has to make $120,000, but your actual total income was $80,000 for the year, that means that you now have to take your actual payroll, right, that you wanted to get paid, you have to take that down. Because if you don't take it down, now you're taking away from your company, which you don't want to do that. You want your company to be built up, and yes, you want to pay yourself. A lot of times I hear people say, business owners work harder than someone with a 9-to-5. Well, the great thing about that is that if an actual business owner ran their business financially correctly, they would be way better off than someone working a 9-to-5. The purpose of being a business owner is to cut out the middleman from your income source. So in order to do that, you have to stop being the other middleman, right? The one that likes to spend, the one that doesn't have management control, the one that does not know how to spend and account for their finances. We have to stop being that middleman, because as much as we would like to spend, the less money our business account will have. So we want to make sure that we are being responsible and concerned when it comes to our business finances, right? So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that subject part alone, right? Hey, awesome. So we have to be mindful of those business finances and understand how these finances can be a great thing for some people, making a lot of money, getting money coming in, but then it also can be a bad thing for someone that doesn't know how to manage their money. Okay, so let's go for an example. I have a website that costs me $5,000 a year to keep that website fully operational, everything running, to run Google ads on a corporate level. It costs me $500, just throwing numbers out there, all of these expenses. So being a part of being responsible is making sure that the first thing that I do after I've determined my actual income that I want to make from my business, the next thing for me to do is then go ahead and look at my expenses. Now, if you want to be blessed, all right, I ain't trying to preach to nobody, but if you just tap your neighbor and tell your neighbor, if you want to be blessed, pay your tithes and your offering, okay? I didn't say give to the community. I didn't say make charitable donations in relation outside of the ministry. But if you want your business to be blessed, pay your tithes and your offering. Make that the number one expense on your expenses. It sounds absurd, but please understand that every nickel and dime that I've gotten for Next Level Bound, I have, yes, and a seed also. I've actually paid my tithe and offering, Every penny, it don't even matter. Before I get excited and thinking I'm gonna do XYZ, you paying these bills, I'm gonna pay my tithes and offering first. And I also did plant a seed. Planting seeds in the ministry produces a crop, a harvest for your business. Planting seeds in the ministry creates a harvest for you for your business. Okay? You know, if you go to a church, pay your tithes and offering under your business name. Pay your tithes and offering under your business name. Exactly. And truly, 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 I'm not trying to put on for you, because I don't have to do that. That's not what I'm here for. I don't have to, try to make it seem more than what it is, because that's not what I'm here for. But what I can tell you is with all assurity that I have been blessed. I have been getting clientele without a lot of leg work. I have been able to sustain because I'm consistent with making sure that my business is paying its tithe and offering. So again, that's the first thing. If you're not a man or woman of God, or if you're not a believer in Christ, first of all, I invite you to do so. But second of all, there's no pressure. That's what the Holy Spirit is for. That's his job. Okay, not mine. All right. So moving right along. So choose you however you do. I'm just advising for a good, prosperous business. That's something that you may want to consider. Okay? And I'm telling you as proof, right? Okay. All right, we got that settled and out of the way. Your next expense, you want to make sure that you include any yearly expense. So any yearly expenses that you have, you want to pretty much break those expenses down by the month. So every month you put something toward that expense, or you pretty much calculate that into your overall budget. Because when you calculate that expense broken down, so let's just say, for an example, in other words, it's $350 for the year for whatever expense that it is. Hey, Red. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And you take those expenses and you break it down. So you take that 350, right? Y'all mathematicians out there, y'all quicker than me. I'm doing this by a calculator. So that's pretty much $30 a month up to that particular year, right? If it's calendar day or 365 days up to the number, okay? So that's $30 a month that you're calculating into your budget to make sure that you're good. Because when you do that, it pretty much sets you up for success. There's no way that you shouldn't have that money, right? Because you've already paid it for the year initially. Now you're setting yourself up $30. That's in your budget. You've broken it down. Break your budgets down. Don't stop doing numbers that taunt you. Stop doing numbers that make you panic. Stop doing numbers that make you feel like it's too much to obtain. Do numbers that are accessible, that's easy for you to capture. Oh, I can do that. That's $30 a month. I have the $350. By the end of the year, I'm good. I can do that. Keep it in a perspective that it's a goal that you can reach. Instead of saying straight up at the end of the year, I got to come up with $350. No, it's already in the account. It's just waiting for, the time frame to come around for me to actually pay it. Right? So break your expenses down. Look at your expenses. Know what you have to pay. Make sure that all of your bills are paid. Now, for those of you that know how I roll in regards to business credit, we know that we pay on time, all the time. All right? On time, all the time. Every single time, I got to pay on time, all the time. All right. So now that we've taken care of all of our bills and we've taken care of our expenses, we still have money that's in the income account. So like I said before, if I was going based upon the 40,000, then the 40,000 of payroll, then I have 40,000 in the income account. So in that income account, you could utilize that money to, one, for emergencies. You could choose to place half of that into the open market, to invest your money, to make your money make money for your business. Even when you're not making money, that money could be generating more money for you without you having to do anything for it. You can create an IRA, you can create anything, get your money into the market and make your money make money for you. Go to your bank. Talk to a financial advisor at your bank. Have them to understand that you have X amount of dollars that you need to invest, and you're not trying to play around. You want your money to make money for you, right? That's it, and that's all. Because when your money starts making money, you don't have to depend on a government grant. You don't have to depend on a government loan. You don't have to depend on any. Now, past that, now we're getting to the payroll, okay? Excuse me. Now we're getting to the payroll. Payroll is going to be set up to pretty much pay you or your employees whatever monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, or however you choose to get paid is how you get paid. Okay? Now, with payroll, you have QuickBooks, you have Intuitive, you have a legitimate your payroll system and how you're paying out, right? You need to make sure that you're using a payroll system if you can, okay? If you have the money, because this is how they look at it. Let's be clear. This is how they look at it. They look at it like this. If you say that you made $100,000, why you can't afford QuickBooks? Okay, all right, there we go. So you answered that yourself, right? And then if you say that you made $100,000 for the year, why can't you go ahead and have your books professionally done? All right, okay, good job. Now, we got to understand the concept of payroll is not to nickel and dime us, but it is to help us be able to manage our money. I have a request coming in. It is great for startups. It really is. And it's affordable. And you could take pictures of your receipts when you're spending money, which is QuickBooks. Y'all know I normally monetize. I need a referral fee. Somebody help me with a referral fee. Brittany, I'm trying to add you, but it's not adding you. Do it again and I'll try to accept it. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. All right. So payroll is, like I said, payroll is very easy to do once you get into it. Now, what's going to make payroll complicated is a few things. One, if you don't have an EIN number, that's definitely going to mess with you because you have to have an EIN number in order to be able to actually set up payroll, especially if you have other employees, okay? Another thing that may work against you is that if you have not filed to actually have an account, a tax account for the state of Florida and are also for your county or your city, whichever one is required, you're going to need to have that, okay? There are some other requirements that you need to meet as well in order for that payroll system to be effective and efficient for you, so that when it's time to file those taxes, all you have to do, just say hit a button. All you got to do is hit a button, especially with QuickBooks, as to Montreal's point about QuickBooks. All you have to do is hit one little button and everything kind of generates and creates your tax return for your business. Like, it's like clockwork. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, it's going to do what it's supposed to do, right? So we're going to be good. It's no problem. So payroll is not as complicated and as extraneous as some seem. However, don't go to someone, especially someone who is a professional in their field, and ask them to set up your QuickBooks account for free. Offer them a lunch date. Offer them a coffee, a cup of coffee, a donut, or something. Don't just do that. That's a lot of time in that, because not only do they have to set up your business information, but they also would have to set up yourself as, a paid employee if you're going to get someone else to do it. Okay? So, like I said, it's not as complicated, but it does require time. And anything that requires time means that it's a sacrifice for someone to do it. And anytime there's a sacrifice, that means someone is deserving. A servant is what? Worthy? Okay. Because if you were to go to somebody else, if you were to go to somebody else and they told you that you had to pay this, right? You will pay it. When we go to the IRS, HR block, or wherever we go and pay our taxes, we do it free and clear with no problem. We get on these sites and they charge us, we do it with no problem. So if you're going to your neighbor down the way to ask them, can they help you, at least offer them something. Don't just go to them people, asking them to do that for free. A EIN number, okay, I got you. That take 5 minutes, no problem. Payroll system, no, now. Stop playing. All right, but anyway, moving right along, the payroll has to be set up in a way so that you can pretty much have documentation of payroll. If you're writing yourself a check because you didn't set up payroll, that's fine. You wrote yourself a check, but make sure that you write payroll at the bottom of the check. Payroll on the bottom. So when it asks for a memo, like what it's for, then you put payroll right on the bottom. When you're writing the check, make sure that it is what it's supposed to be. And then you need to deposit that check into your personal account. Please don't use your business debit card saying that spending money, because what if you overspend past what you were supposed to pay yourself? Then what happens? What happens when something occurs and you pull out the wrong card and you swiping the wrong card by accident? So please make sure that you separate your business and personal. Don't use the debit card for your business unless it's a business expense or unless it's something that you're going to pretty much write off as a business expense. If you don't plan on writing it off as a business expense, then at that point, you don't want to use your business card, okay? You don't want to use your business debit card for that, okay? So with that being said, like I said, I didn't have much time, but the comments and likes and shares, questions are definitely appreciated. Like I said, I will be actually doing, it's probably going to be a series because I want to start with understanding about business money management. because really business money management is not solely about numbers. It's really about an attitude that you have to have, and you have to get in alignment with that attitude. Because if you don't, I could tell you all kind of numbers and da 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 blah and so forth and so on, but none of it will matter because your attitude and the way that you perceive it is not in perspective. So I am going to continue to, I think I should be able to have this ready within probably next week. So maybe next week when I get on for our Let's Talk Wednesday, then we'll actually pretty much run the whole segment of content down. So next week on Wednesday, it's going to be business money management. So if you guys have a subject line that you guys want to touch on, like I said, payroll, you can use QuickBooks. Definitely go back and watch the video. Watch the video from the beginning, because you can use QuickBooks and many other sources for payroll. It's not complicated at all. I do offer the service of setting up your payroll. So if you do need assistance with setting up your payroll, I can definitely assist you. This is a business, so there is a fee. To do that, I can do a Zoom meeting with you if you're not local here in Tampa, Florida. But for those of you that are in Tampa, Florida, I'm at 400 North Ashley Drive, right? That's floor 19 and suite 1944. Amen. And that's Tampa, Florida, like I said, 33602. Okay. And you can also call or text me at 813-560-3021. Again, that's 813-560-3021. All right. So again, if you found value in anything that was said or mentioned, please go ahead and subscribe as well. I know this is not YouTube, but follow, befriend, whatever, what have you, share as well, and definitely comment so that we can keep the momentum up in regards to, discovering these things that no one necessarily tells us. No one is, coaching us on, because for whatever reason or another. All right. It's been good. Talk to you all later. Have a great day.